you the 3 reasons why Dextel Energy Manager, our energy management software, is beating another EMS in the market. So, as we said in the beginning, the agenda, it's going to be a brief introduction to Dexma, in case you don't know our company. And then Daniel will explain you, or will summarize these 3 reasons that we understand that our software it's strong on those points compared to other systems. And then, of course, as usual on our webinars, we will show you and we will perform a live demo where you will see all these things that we are speaking about live to the Dextel Energy Manager software. Okay. Of course, during all the whole webinar, do not hesitate to ask any question. You can use the GoToMeeting software. You can see this box called questions. So just introduce any doubt, any question that you may have, and at the end of the webinar, we will just ask it, all the questions, okay? So thanks again, and let's start. So first of all, company introduction. Dexma, it's a technology company, software company. We just have one product that it's an energy management software. And as you can see here, it's intended to save energy on buildings, corporate and public administration, industry, and commercial, where we are including retail. The software called Dextel Energy Manager, it's based in the cloud, and of course it's hardware neutral. You will see that this is a very important point today to connect all kind of meters and different solutions. Not only meters, maybe it can be a BMS existing on the building, or other things like weather stations that could be virtual on internet. Of course, this software has, and you will see it in the demo, a part of the dashboard, analytics, alarms, reports, and much more that Daniel will explain you. As well, an important point for Dexma, it's all this software, it's offered through a network of partners. Today, we have more than 175 companies. Those companies are quite different depending on the market. So we are working with big OEMs, big utilities, medium energy efficiency companies, small companies doing ESCO contracts. So you can see that no matter the size of your company, if you want to offer an energy service and you need a software, Dexma can be the software. As well as a company perspective, the Dexma software has been mentioned from different international industry analysts like Verdantics, Navigant Research, Groom Energy. And here we added a new point. So of course there are like hundreds of energy management softwares out there, but not all of them are rated as good as Dextel Energy Manager, as you can see in this screenshot, that we are one of the top 3 energy management softwares better reviews on the internet today. Good. So you, in order to understand better who are those customers, the end customers that at the end are, sorry because the slides are just jumping. Here you can see some vertical markets where our software it's working today. You can see here companies that have hundreds and thousands of locations and sites worldwide. The Dexma software starts being in some of them because the company right now, I think that we have already 3-4 customers with more than 300 locations in the software. But of course, it's a software that can be used as well for just one location in industry, for example. So here you can see some of the references in end customers that we have today. And I think that the good news here to tell you is that so no matter which is the vertical, you can see that here all kinds of companies and different partners that we have are using our software today with success. Okay. Well, an important point as well, because on how to see the energy management software market. So of course, you have on one side the very big companies, but then on another side you have a lot of local players on each country. So Dexma, it's trying to be a medium-sized player inside this sector, because as you can see here, we have projects today. I think it's more than 28 countries. So that means that the software is being localized in terms of languages, of course, but in terms of energy tariffs and rates to all these markets. Because, for example, we can be working on half-hourly data in UK, but for example, in the French market, we're gonna need to have it every 10 minutes because the maximeter it's going on that frequency. But then in Spain, for example, or in Belgium, it's going to be every 15 minutes. So the software is prepared for that and much more. Here's some figures as well. As I said at the beginning, more than 800 customers are using the software. Here, this is not updated, but it should be 175 partners. All these global regions where we have projects. And as well, an important point. So in terms of architecture, the software, the Dexma software today with all these customers, I think it's receiving more than 10 million data points, not data points, readings every day. So on our database, we're storing right now more than 10,000 million readings since 2010. Here you can see a very, very quick picture about the value chain of an energy management software at the end. You can see at the bottom where you see here the different meters, the different protocols that you will see much more on the Daniel part. Then in the middle, the software that is acquiring the data. No matter if it's a physical meter or, as you can see on the right, a BMS or SCADA, because with the API you can connect all those systems. Daniel will explain you more about that as well. And here, as you can see, we have like 3 different levels of acquiring information. The first one is the builds. The second one is what we call physical metering. That would be just connecting the general meter with different protocols, for example, the DLMS in Europe or other protocols on each country. But this solution would be connecting the utility meters direct to the software, so not installing any new hardware. But then, of course, the majority of our customers are installing meters because they want to monitor sub-consumptions, gas, water, and others. So here you can see on the right, that is where we speak about monitoring and targeting, that it's where we are installing the submeters, etc., etc. The software as well can deal with small BMSs and PLCs. That's why we're including the control part as well, because it's not just about monitoring and having information in real time. Then you can automatize and control different sites. Good. And this was a very, very quick introduction to Dexma. Now I'll give you the voice to Daniel Uches. Thanks.
Hi. I would like to welcome all the audience. And yeah, we will keep pushing with the presentation with that PowerPoint here. So what I would like to explain you today, it's okay, what you should focus on when you are trying to buy a new energy management software, or which is the 3 main reasons that we think from Dexma perspective that will make your project be a success. And that's many often when we are reading requests for proposals in that big projects, we have the impression that you often are very focused on what kind of feature has the software, or the software does that, or does the other one thing. What we think is that we really need to think in 3 different ways, or 3 different philosophies of a software, of a product, right? And it's not a particular feature, it's a reason, okay? So the first one would be the integrability of your product, right? So you're thinking to install, come on, okay, now it's, oh, well, let's let's do like that maybe. So you're thinking to install a new platform into your company to be used for many teams inside your company, right? So it could be for the engineering, for the maintenance, for the procurement, whatever. So one of the reasons that we think that it's very key for that, it's the integrability. So you need a platform that can be integrable with almost everything that can send data to an online platform. At that point, what we offer from the Dexma perspective, it's plus 500 ways to send data, okay? That means that, of course, that we are compatible with hardware manufacturers, as you can see in that presentation. So we are compatible with brands such as Schneider Electric, Circuitor, Socomec, Fifth Play, Panasonic, wherever. But we are also compatible using parsers, so FTP parsers, for instance, to introduce CSV files or TXT files, right? Or with other external databases, right? So, for instance, if you have your data warehouse where you upload every month your own monthly bills, so we can connect directly to that warehouse and get the data from, okay? So it's one of the main reasons that we would like to point out. Regarding if we go more in deep, then we have network analyzers, so electrical analyzers, okay? Then we have gas meters, water meters, thermal meters, temperatures. Then you can synchronize with your BMSs, PLCs, even if you have it in the field, or SCADAs, okay? So every single piece of hardware that can send data will be compatible with our platform. So we offer you that freedom when you are setting up the project. So you have no limitation in order to select the piece of hardware that you would like to, because it's more cheap, because you have better conditions with your vendor, whatever. Okay. Then regarding to the protocols we are compatible normally with Modbus, MBus, BACnet, OBIX, Kenix protocols, and many other different protocols using their own gateways, right? And when you are setting up the project, nice thing to have in mind, it's okay, so I will be monitoring data, but that data needs to be sent to the cloud. And that has a cost of communications, or could have cost of communication. So you need a platform that can send or can receive data using different technologies. At that point, we have gateways or data loggers that can be connected using Ethernet, 3G, GPRS, if you don't want to have many troubles with your IT departments, or Wi-Fi, or SMS, or radio, or Zigbee. So we have many different technologies. Virtually, we are compatible with everything that can send data. Okay. Then, if we move to the reason number 2, it's really important that when you install an energy management platform, right? Okay, it's really fun to have all the information inside one platform, which is cloud, and you can access them and see the data and do benchmarks, whatever. But once you have synced a contract with an ESCO company, for instance, or you are going to invest massive quantities of money into energy retrofittings, then you have to check that what the ESCO is saying, that you will be saving 40% of your consumption, is it real, right? So basically, what you need to do is, well, and you are not alone in that world, right? So it exists a protocol which is called IPMVP from an entity which is called EVO, that basically puts a standard process on how to verify your energy savings. Dextel, what it really does, it's prepare, so it provides you the platform where you can introduce that projects, and it's like your portfolio of investments in energy efficiency. The same portfolio that you would have when you invest in stocks, so you will have it in regarding to the energy, and you can check out every day how much savings are you performing with your investments, okay? We will see that later on during the demonstration. And then the third reason that we think, or the third point in our philosophy, it's that, okay, so you will install software, that software will have data and will be very integrable, will have lots of features, but we know for sure that we won't cover the 100% of your needs in a project, right? Because every single project has their single particularities, right? So what we offer is to be open, right? So we just host the data and we charge you to host the data, but the data is yours and you can do with your data whatever you want. So we offer an open API, okay, that you can easily use to develop your own apps on top of Dexel Energy Manager. Okay, so imagine that you are working for a country that has particular needs, and in our roadmap, it's not intended to be or to develop that particular thing regarding to your legislation. So no worries at all, because then you can develop your own application using the data that it's already into the Dexel platform to solve that problem. Okay, even then you can install the other applications that our channel partners are developing. Okay, we will see later on a couple of examples of that. And basically, you can use this to solve any single problem that you have now or in the future, right? So when you make a decision to purchase a software, you need to be sure that you won't be restricted into the four corners that that company offers. So in that case, Dexma is offering that open API to develop whatever you need on top of the platform. Okay. So if we move maybe to the demo, Joan, we will see it in action. So if we move.
And just to point out a very quick comment on that as well. So we are not taking in consideration about the architecture. So if it should be a software on premise or in the cloud. So since 2010, Dexma did the move to the cloud, and since that moment, the all 100% of our customers are in the same architecture. Of course, it's much more cost effective, more scalable, more secure at the end. So we are pointing out these three reasons, but of course we are not comparing Dexma with on-premise softwares or other solutions, because we think that already the segment that was maybe more reluctant to go into the cloud, it was the industry. And industry right now, it's 30% of our customer base. So I think that with that, we're just saying that the industry is as well moving into the cloud, and this should be the solution.
Okay, so if we move to the real platform, okay, so this is in real. For example, when we talk about, okay, this hardware integrability, when you are in your own account running your own project, imagine that you are expanding the project and you are now installing different hardware. So you just need to go to settings, and here we have an option called gateways. And if you click on register new gateway, it's as easy as select which piece of hardware have you purchased and installed, and then register it, right? If you want to know which hardware is compatible with our software, then it's really easy to go to our support portal. So in support.dexmatech.com, you will have all that kind of information, and you can check here in the meters and sensors area, which is the list of devices that are compatible, okay? So we normally work with third-party gateways, and we have our own gateway. Our own gateway, it's called DexGate, right? So we are now in June this year launching our new DexGate version 2, right? And here you will have many information regarding what hardware it's compatible with the DexGate, for instance, right? So using the DexGate, you can use all the different brands, installing them, and will be totally compatible from the first instant. Okay, this is regarding to the hardware integrability. Then if you are using, for instance, a VMS that is just sending a CSV file, then what we do is to create a particular script that parts that data, right? So we get that CSV file and we convert into our own information. So we introduce finally the data into the software. And you can use to do that, you can use, for instance, there are some hardwares that sends data attached into an email, or hardware that sends data using FTP servers, right? So we are compatible with both solutions. Then if you are using, for instance, the technology of Tridium, it's very nice to know that all that technology uses OBIX as a standard protocol. So OBIX comes natively compatible using Dextel directly, right? And then we have other different boxes from different manufacturers, like that from Souter, that from, I think, the green box from Greenlogic, wherever. Okay, so we have many different boxes here. Good. Then, if we remember the second philosophy, and the second philosophy is regarding the measurement and verification of projects. So how can I save or verify my energy savings once the ESCO contract comes? Then you need to know that in the analysis part of the software, you will have a full set of different features. Okay, so for instance, in consumption, you will check in real time how is your consumption going, and you can compare many different supermarkets at the same time, do kind of normalizations to benchmark wherever. But what we would like to focus as you today, it's in that option from here, measurement and verification projects. And as I told you, it's like when you're investing in stocks, right? So you have your portfolio of investments and you check every day, which is the expected savings and how are you performing so far the project started. So at that point, for instance, I have my whole portfolio in that project, in that supermarkets project, right? And I have retrofit my freezers, and I have implemented some lighting, LEDs, right? Very typical. Then I did some changes in my HVAC, right? And I have all of them segmented because I'm monitoring that in real time. And I've created a measurement and verification projects for every single site that I'm performing savings, right? So in that case, I can see that many projects has been completed, and some of them achieved the expected savings and some of them not. So for instance, at that point, if I see that project freezers in Barcelona, I didn't save any energy, but I consume like 10% more. So if I go in deep and I try to see what's going on, I can see in blue, which is my baseline. So how I supposed to be consuming if I didn't change anything. Okay, I did some retrofitting, so I should be consuming less, or that's why the ESCO company said to me. But at the end, it was not like that. So the blue line, it's less than the real consumption. You can see here the real consumption in bars, green if you are saving, red if you are over exceeding that consumption, right? And at the end of the project, I didn't save any kilowatt hour, right? So then I can apply my warranties and I can get my money back, for instance. Then if I go to my project freezers in Paris, which is still ongoing, so you can check here how many days are still missing for the end of the project, right? I can check every day or every hour how I'm saving, right? So during the winter, I was saving a lot of energy compared versus the baseline. That's fine. But once the May comes in and we are now in spring, it seems that the project is not performing as good as it should be. So it's time to see what's happening to installation, go there and try to set up what was going on, and then wait until the Dextel says to me that, okay, so you are now on track and you are now going to save the 25% that you were expecting, okay? This is also external, so you can export this using Excel files, or you can create your own reports every week or every month, and you have your reports of portfolio of your investments, okay? Then, as a third thing, we were talking about the energy apps market and the open API, right, Joan? So here in your projects, you have a market button. And if you go to the energy apps market, what you have available, it's many different applications that are public into the apps market, right? So once you develop an app, you can choose if that app, you want to have it public for everybody and has a price. So all the rest of the partners in our partner channel can buy this app, so you can get money from that. Or you want to have it private just for your projects, right? So it's a way to differentiate the product as well, right? So you can take Dextel as a platform, and then you can develop one or two different apps that are very, very good for your particular target customers, and you can get the most of it. Okay, So once you install an app, it's very similar than the Facebook apps, that kind of apps that request some permissions, right? So if I install an app, then I can go, for instance, to the dashboard, and that one, the map app, it's an application that runs externally to our servers, right? So it's not an application that it's running inside the Dexma servers. It's out of our servers. I can go maybe to a different account, which we have more locations, in order to see how it works, right? So in that case, it's very simple. It's an application that benchmarks and, well, that geolocalizates your buildings into a Google map, okay, and makes a ranking versus your kilowatt hour versus the ratios that you select here, right? So in that case, we are benchmarking your buildings kilowatt hour per square meter, but you can select kilowatt hours by heating degree days, cooling degree days, wherever. The point here is that basically the data is in the Dexma's databases. So we are hosting, we are doing the backups, we're doing everything in the data to have it clean and clear for you. And then you can get that data from the API, right? And the API, it's very common when you talk with the developers, then they know exactly what's an API. And we have published our API again in support.dexmatech.com. So if you go to the area of developers and integrations, right, you have here the API version 3, and it's fully explained. And then if you click here, then you go to that platform, okay, where we explain exactly how is the architecture of that API and which calls are available, right? So if you want to know which accounts do you have, if you want to get the cost of your data, so you can do a query to get the cost, right? And then we just return the different responses regarding to the query that you've been doing, okay? So it's a way to integrate systems and to develop your own applications based on the technology that you want, right? So it can be developed in Java, in PHP, in wherever. So we just ask for a web frontend, for a URL, and that's introduced as an iframe into the software. So it's really quick, really easy, and really cheap to develop. And that's almost all from my part, Joan. So I will give you back the microphone, and we can continue with the webinar.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Daniel. It was a very good presentation, and I think at the demo as well. As usual, we show you and we share with you these things directly in the software as a demo. So I think that, well, as we promised it was a short webinar to show you 3 different reasons why we think the Dexma EMS, it can be better than conventional energy management softwares. Of course, there are much more functionalities or features in the software. We invite you to register to dextel.com, or if you connect directly to our website, dexmatech.com, and you can check there a free demo. Now, I think that there are a few questions that you have sent us. So what we will do is we will pause, we will stop the webinar for 2-3 minutes, read it, and prepare some answers. And that's it. Thank you very much. It was more than, I think, 70 attendees from 30 countries. So we much appreciate your interest in Dexma. And we will come back now in a few minutes. Thank you. Hello, we're back. So, well, one question is regarding where do we have partners? So, if you're interested in acquiring or getting the Dextel energy management software, of course, for companies who are energy services companies, what we can offer is that you can partner with us. But if you are an end customer interested in energy efficiency services, you can go to our website, dexmatech.com. You check partner program, our partners, and here you will find a list with all the countries and the partners that we have worldwide. So here you check your country, and you will see if we have a partner there or not. And if you are interested of becoming a partner, of course, you can contact with our sales team. Then, well, I'll give you one for you, Daniel, and then I'll come back.
Yeah, thanks. There are some regarding to the apps. What do you mean with private app? Well, a private app is an application that it's just for you, right? So as a partner of Dexma, you have a backend where you can manage your own apps, your own accounts, create new accounts, renew accounts, wherever. Okay, and in that case, if you are creating an account under your partner account, what you would have is the private apps that you check that will be available for your users, right? So if you develop your own applications that are really, really good and you don't want to sell that through the rest of our partners, there's no problem. So you will have that applications in private mode. So that means that you are the manager of that app, and that basically you can install or uninstall in your own users. Okay. Then John, I can get also that one if you want. So regarding to the measurement and verification projects, how are they organized? They're asking that why if I have several projects and I want under their own heading. In fact, when you check when you go to the measurement and verification projects, there is no an organization. Just an organization goes transversally using the software and goes regarding the locations that you have selected, right? So basically, if I go now to Canada, it will appear only the projects that are going under the locations that are under the Canada tree, right? So that's the organization that we have done in the software, for instance. Then regarding to how do we calculate the references, so the baseline, right? Yeah, that's the holy grail of all the energy savings projects. How do you calculate the baseline? Basically, inside Dextel, we offer two options, right? So I will try to show you now very, very quick which options are them. So for instance, we can go to supermarket account again. This is absolutely, you can register for free now, and you can get a 14-day trial into the software. So you will see everything that I'm showing you. So in that case, for instance, in the HVAC project, we created that based on, I think it's a formula, exactly. So you create your own formula based on the historical data that you have monitored, and using the IPMVP protocol, it says, not exactly, but it says the process that you have to do. So you can use stepwise regression into any statistical software, for instance. And even we have documentation that in our software center. So if you try here to put verify, for instance, and you go how to create measurement and verification projects, and we explain here step by step how to calculate them, and we can do, we have also a tutorial on how to calculate them using a formula and using Minitab 16, which is a statistical software, right? So we help you, and we have that knowledge, and we can help you if you are partners of us, how to calculate that formula that basically is the holy grail. Then you can introduce that formula into the software, and then Dextel basically evaluates for every single time the formula versus the real consumption, and it checks, right? You can then add your variables here, right? So you can add as many variables as you need for the formula, right? So occupancy, production, if it's an industry, wherever. And then you can add conditional cases again. So if, for instance, if you are closed on Sundays, for instance, you can set different formulas, and you can add non-routinary adjustments, as the protocol says, that are basically adjustments based on the baseline, right? That's one way. But then we have a second way, which is, for instance, we use that a lot into the LAD projects. That basically it's based on historical consumptions, right? So you select the first day that you start the monitoring until the day before that you change the retrofitting and you change for LEDs, and we create your baseline based on an average of that value, a median or an average, right? So basically that it's really easy because you just need to set up 2 dates, a weekly time frame, for instance, because I'm working into a week, I'm closed on Sundays, and you aggregate by the median, and then the software easily auto calculates the error of the baseline and shows you the baseline absolutely nice, right? So it's really easy to set up different projects into the software.
Good. Another question is around if Dexma is working with utilities. Yes, sure. So of course utilities have an important customer base. So how we're dealing with utilities are those utilities that want to offer an energy management software and system to let's say the mid market or to the enterprise. Dexma has a specific category on the partner program that we can present you. I think that there are a couple of more questions there. Yeah, the webinar has been recorded, so anyone of you that is interested, just send us an email and we can share it with you. Another person is who are our partners in the US. The same like in the first question. So you can check on our website at partner program, our partners, and you will see it there. And I think that's it. Well, there is another one. Yeah.
Yeah, I have another one. It says if I can download a recording. Yeah, sure. I mean, we are open as we were telling you before. So you can do it in 2 ways. So first of all, when you're analyzing inside the software your energy consumption, there is no question that you can export the measurements to Excel, right? And you can keep working in your own macros on wherever you have into Excel or introduce it in another source. By the way, you can also use the API to extract the readings, right? So you can use the API as a way to, let me go to the readings. Maybe it's here. I can choose cost. Where's that? Readings, right? So you can get the readings of a particular device during a particular set of time. So you can select the from and to, and which readings do you want to extract, and then you can copy this into your own warehouse, right? So we are totally open on that. So we are just hosting your data.
Another question is regarding the pricing. So here we would invite you to contact us, but as some information, so you have the professional plan that includes all the functionalities that we've been seeing today on the webinar, and it starts around 1,000 euros per year, and it includes 20 data points. Data points, it's like signals, so you can send a kilowatt hour or pulses, so gas consumption or water. And but again, just contact us and we will explain you that more in detail.
Yeah, there's a question coming from India regarding the tenant billing. If we have it tenant billing, yeah, what we do it's to, well, you can create your cost reports every month, for instance, right? So this is something that it's capable to do into the software. If we go to the platform again, wait, we have to go here. Yeah, right. So now it's here, and we go to reports, for instance. So we have here, we should have electrical bill simulation, right? So you can create bills based on a device, right? So if you have segmentation of devices in different, so for example, you have 10 tenants in a building, and you have 1 hardware meter per tenant, then there is no inconvenience into create that reports, and the reports exports you the cost. Different thing is to have the tariffs from India, for instance, that case, right? So Dexma provides standard tariffs. You can change the prices, you can change the time of use periods, right? But there are some other things like how do you calculate the load excess penalty or directive excess penalty, that we need to go more in detail in order to see if the software it's compliant or not with that. Okay.
A few more points. Well, Bruce says very nice software. Thank you for that. Another question regarding the company size of Dexma. So how many employees work at Dexma? Today we are around 25 people, all based here in the sunny Barcelona. And another question regarding if we asked by Nabil that if we have partners in that territory. I think that we do not have any partner. So just contact us and we will be more than welcome to talk about it.
Then maybe the last one regarding to the peak demand, right? So how we calculate the peak demand. So it depends in your country, right? So one thing is to calculate the peak demand, and the other one is to calculate the peak demand excess, and that depends on your country. So basically, what we offer here in that case, it's an application. I don't know if it's installed here. It's installed here or not. It's called demand load, right? So at that point, this is another external application that works outside the software. So it was developed by one of our partners, and it's free into the market, right? So if I get here, I don't know, the main consumption for London supermarkets, and we can compare our peak demand, like it's being calculated in London in that case, because the supermarket is calculated in London versus your contracted demand, right? So as you know, well, in UK they use KVAs, they don't use KW. So it's that kind of particularities that very often are solved using our API, our open platform, and developing an applications on that, right? So sure, you can work with your peak demand as well.
Good. So, well, just thank you very much. Well, I think that this wasn't us, so no. You can again thank you very much for your interest in our software, and just contact us if you want to go further. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Have a nice day.